Welcome back to Deeply Retail, a podcast focused on the modern retail journey through a lens of creativity, technology, and innovation. For our second episode, we are in conversation with Vatsal Koolwal, Head of Marketing and E-commerce at Go Colors. Go Colors is India's leading women's bottom wear brand, a pioneer in the category that has now scaled to 800 plus exclusive stores across India and opening its first international store in Dubai. With 9 years at the core of Amazon's e-commerce innovation before this, Vatsal is now driving Go Colors' next phase of retail growth and customer experience. In this episode, we get into the world of e-commerce and what online retail innovation really looks like from the inside. Let's get into it.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Deeply Retail, a podcast focused on the retail journey through the lens of technology, innovation, and creativity. Today we have a very special guest with us, Vatsal. Good friend that I've had the honor of working with. Vatsal is the head of e-commerce and marketing at Go Colors. And today we're going to deep dive into innovation, technology, and whatever our conversation explores in the context of Go Colors. So firstly, thanks, Vatsal, for coming on to our podcast.
Not at all. Thank you so much for having me. It's good to sit down and have a nice little chat about what we have been up to.
Yeah, I think there have been some really cool things that we've worked on in kind of stealth, but I think now it's the right time to kind of explain and talk to the world about your thought process. And actually I've learned a lot in the last few months working with you, and I think I would love the audience to also get a little bit of a background about your experience. Your journey has been amazing, so maybe you can spend a few minutes first talking about yourself.
Sure. I started working back in 2014, and my entire journey has been around e-commerce and digital marketing. In fact, I got really interested in digital marketing when I was doing my MBA at IIM Indore. And the idea was to get into the heart of e-com. And I think Amazon was the best place to be. So I got into Amazon, thankfully, and I spent close to a decade there.
Oh wow! What year was this in Amazon?
This was 2015.
Oh wow! So pretty early days of e-commerce in India.
Yeah, first couple of years of Amazon becoming active in India. So
Wow.
I was there when they were scaling really fast, and being at the heart of the e-com sort of revolution, if I may call it, in India.
Yeah.
It was a great learning curve. My approach to work today was shaped up a lot by my formative years at Amazon and their focus on the leadership principles of Amazon. They focus on data-driven approach, customer backward thinking, process-driven approach. So I think, a lot of my learning happened.
I can actually see how that has shaped you after working with you for a bit. That data, and I think that's brilliant. And may I say, like, you've seen it from the beginning stages of e-commerce to now, 2026. Fast forward 10 years. What has changed, and do you think there's with the whole new wave of technology, what is the new landscape starting to look like?
Well, it has changed a lot. I think as an industry, e-com has evolved leaps and bounds, right? I think early days it was more about adopting what's already working in the mature markets. So what's happening in, let's say, the US or Japan or the UK, a lot of those already established best practices were just brought in and implemented for the Indian market. But I think over a period of time, it became a more India first approach. I think the focus became more about solving for the Indian customer. India is a unique market. We've all heard that, right? And it is unique for a variety of reasons. I think the consumer behavior is different. The buying patterns are different. The topicalities are different. So what sells well?
Price sensitivity is different.
100%.
Yeah, but the volume play, you have higher audience. You have the largest audience in the entire world is in terms of a demographic.
It's a big market.
It's a big country.
You have to cater to it, right? I think that has been the primary shift that has happened. A shift from just adopting what's working outside India to focusing on creating India first solutions. I think COD is a prime example of an India first solution. It was needed to build trust into this new space, new way of retail.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a lot of innovations have happened over the last 2 years. We've had some great breakthroughs. I mean, quick commerce is a great example of how India is leading that e-com journey now.
And honestly, something that probably only can happen in India because of our supply of delivery and our good audience and large population, and also, delivery logistics. I don't think that would scale well economically speaking, right? In maybe the US right
I
now.
mean, of course, there are factors that make it work here. Like there are factors that make other industries work better outside. I mean, a B2B SaaS is an industry that traditionally has worked better outside India. So, of course, there are factors that help that particular industry grow. But I think at the core of it is the need to innovate for the Indian market. In this scenario, I think we have done a great job of that, and we have also seen how customers have changed over the years. I think there's a lot more trust in e-commerce now. There's a lot more, I think, security across the funnel. Payments is a big example of where the trust had to be built, and right from COD to now one-click UPI.
Yeah.
I think we have come a long way.
Fintech has really evolved the entire journey to be less friction. Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
And what would you say that, like, even the pandemic also helped change that behavior? Did you see a big shift from before pandemic to after pandemic, adoption jump in consumption?
It was an unfortunate thing that happened, of course, but e-commerce really benefited from it. I think it was well placed.
I mean, you're like, no, I'm not bad, but good for us.
I mean, it was scary.
Yeah, of
for a
course, of
bit.
course.
And I remember back in Amazon when we were trying to navigate that period, it was very uncertain, right? Because suddenly things shut down and you don't know how to navigate, and then sudden boom when things reopened. Cut to a couple of years later when offline started just picking up again.
Yeah.
Nobody expected it to, I think, pick up the way that it did. So, I mean, it was uncertain. It was very hard to predict, but I think e-commerce across the board was well founded to sort of meet that demand that happened. I think whatever surge happened during that time, for whatever reason, I think thankfully e-com was already set up to meet that demand. It also opened up a lot of new customers to e-com. And eventually, I think we are getting into a nice state of equilibrium now, where you have a good overlap of customers who are online as well as offline, and based on their requirement, based on their convenience, I think the experience shifts. Right, I think there's a lot more acceptance to online. At the same time, there's a lot more to expect from how offline can really close the gap in terms of experience. I think offline retail hasn't really evolved too much in the last few years, right? I mean,
True.
Now is the perfect time for that to happen, and I think some of the things that you have been working on will, I'm sure, will help us get there. I think it's about time that offline also picks up and improves that experience, because that's the way I think customers would look at.
I want to double click into what you said about customer expectations and the new age of what a customer experience is. And before we go into offline, which I think you're 100% right, hasn't really changed in the last 20 years. I mean, it is a good formula. It works. You put a store there, put people, stock it up, but is truly offline retail a warehousing initiative, an inventory hub, or is it an experience hub? That fundamental question should be questioned, I think. But to double click back into your experience in e-commerce and focusing on that new customer experience that you were mentioning, right? Tell us more about what the new shopper in 2026 and this decade will look like, and your thoughts on that.
Well, I think number one, a lot of things that were considered innovative a few years back are pretty much hygiene now. I think there's a lot of influx of.
Could you give some examples as well?
Absolutely. I mean, checkout, for example, right? One-click checkout is a hygiene. I think every D2C is now is expected to have one-click checkout on there. Otherwise, there's just friction.
Yeah.
Right? And
how many steps to get to checkout? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think the entire funnel right from browsing or searching for a product. So starting from product discovery to going to the PDP, discovering the product in more detail, to adding to cart and then to checkout. I think because our consumers have spent so much time on e-com now, I think there's a certain level of expectation that is built in.
Yeah.
Likes of Amazons or Flipkarts or Mintras have, I think, built up those expectations to a
Like
point
even
where
returns, the expectation is
100%.
you're gonna give me a free return because kind of customers are spoiled right now.
Exactly. And I think credit to the entire ecosystem that has been built around it. I think the logistics ecosystem has also helped
Yeah.
in small D2Cs, even providing easy return pickups from anywhere in the country, right? So a lot of these practices are now hygiene. So
Yeah.
as a brand, you have to make sure that you're providing it. Anything less than that is
Subpar.
yeah, is
And maybe even friction that customers may not choose to purchase from you because you're competing with wallet share.
100%. I'll give you an example. I mean, the moment you move from a 2-day delivery to a 3-day or 4-day delivery, your conversion drops by half.
Really?
I mean, the expectation is to get the product delivered within 2 or 3 days anywhere in the country, because that's what I think the
Yeah.
established players are doing. That's what a lot of brands out there are doing. So as a brand, you really have to make sure that you hit those best practices right from day one, because that's what the customers expect, and that's a big change in how our customers are looking at D2C right now. They expect all these things to be in place from day one.
Yeah.
Right. I think there are very few categories, maybe custom furniture, where they're okay with like say a 7 or 10 day
Yeah.
delivery. But
even then, it's a spoiled generation. I'm part of that. It's an on-demand generation.
yeah, I wouldn't call it spoiled. I think
Okay, fine.
I mean let's look at the other way. They're pushing us to do better. So I mean,
Yeah, true. I mean, it's an efficient generation.
efficient generation. Yeah.
That's a nicer way of saying it. Where I mean, it's not even unfair for that expectation, right? Hey, I want something faster. I want something more catered towards me, right? Ultimately, that is our job, right? To find the product that you want, right? Whether that's a new type of product discovery, but ultimately that expectation in terms of innovation, right? In terms of that experience. Um, tell us more about what you think now going forward
Yes,
will
yes.
look like.
So exactly what you said, right? I think while these best practices and hygiene things are there out there and easy to sort of replicate, I think one of the biggest trends that we are seeing now is a move towards personalization. And I know this word has been used loosely for a lot of years
I think
now.
it's used in every context.
In every context now, but I think real personalization at scale will happen now with Gen AI becoming the enabler. Right? As and when we see mass adoption of Gen AI, I think personalization will finally truly happen. Right? I think there was personalization available in terms of customer cohorts being identified and uh, shown a certain experience. But I think true personalization happens at an individual level. And I mean,
Absolutely.
what you see on e-com versus what I see on e-com
Should be different.
should be different.
Fundamentally, I'm taller than you, different taste, different
100%.
preferences, different size.
Yeah. So why not use the tools that we have now, which are, I think, beginning to become more mass and provide that experience? I think the next wave of innovations will truly revolve around providing a more personalized experience.
But does experience mean benefit for ultimately a business? Like in the pursuit of experience, a lot of things have been tried in the past, right?
Yeah.
Magic mirrors, where you have some 3D try on that looks like a comic book filter on you. Things like that have been tried. Is there actually, I mean, in this chase for customer perfection, customer experience, personalization, what do brands have to benefit from this? Like, is e-commerce so broken right now that it even needs that type of evolution?
It's not broken, but I think the rate at which the experience has been optimized over the years, I think that momentum will not slow down. So the expectation will be to continue to innovate. Um but I think when you mention things like the magic mirror and all, I think retail as an industry has been trying to get that right for a very long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel that we did not have the right technology to do it at scale.
The unit economics didn't make sense.
It didn't.
Fundamentally,
it
it's all that.
It was always, I think, considered a very novelty thing. I mean, if you put it in a store, it's more about generating conversations about, hey, this is new, right? And less about actually making an impact on the top line,
Right.
at scale again, right? So
It was almost like a marketing play.
almost
Yeah.
like a marketing play where you put it somewhere in one of your flagship stores, and then you expect customers
Some buzz, some walk-ins,
some
come in.
buzz that gets created, you probably amplified on social media. I think that was the extent of it when it comes to some of those magic mirrors and things that we have heard about. But I think now is a time when it can actually be implemented at scale, right? Because one, the unit economics make a lot more sense. Plus, I think the customer adoption is also, I think, far more likely, since I think most of us are now moving towards using Gen AI on a frequent basis. So I think there's a lot less, risk in terms of how customers also adopt it. Right? There's always reluctance when it's new technology. I mean, people were reluctant to even use a camera in a store, and like, you know, what will they do with that image, right? Now it's much more common.
I mean, people doubted e-commerce itself, right? Like,
did.
start there, right?
Yeah.
Amazon was joked about, right?
Yeah.
Today, nobody can even dare to.
So I think the customers have evolved. We have the technology, the unit economics makes sense. So yeah, I think when demand and supply both
Are you thinking of something specific when you're talking about these things? Tell us. I think you're thinking of something very specific in your minds. Tell us a little bit more what's going on in your brain when you're saying this. Dive a little deeper.
So I think one of the bigger problems that we're trying to solve is product discovery, right? I mean, with GoColors, we offer more than 4,000 SKUs, right?
Wow.
We have the widest range of bottom wear for women available.
And now starting men too, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a pilot that we have started. So we are only expanding our offering. But I think a lot of our customers tend to identify us with our core offering. Of course, is leggings, right? The category on which the brand was built. But as of now, GoColors is a much wider brand than leggings. So that's one of the key challenges we have to solve for, where we want customers to come into our stores, interact with the system like a virtual try-on that can help them discover new products. I mean, most of our customers come in with some sort of an understanding of what they want, what they're looking for, but often they end up exploring one or two categories, and if they don't find it, they probably leave and then they don't shop. But I think with these solutions coming in, which makes it much easier for a customer to get personalized recommendations from tens of categories, right? And the system can evolve into understanding their very specific need. Like, you can come in and say that, hey, I have to attend this party.
Or I'm going to the gym, I need that TV shirt.
Or this is the theme, and this is the color, and this is the top, and this is the bottom. I'm trying to...
Or I don't know what I want, but show me what's best for my body shape, my size, all of that. Yeah,
all of that is
that
now
context.
possible.
Yeah.
So I think it's a win-win, because as a brand, I would love to show more and more product that we have to our customers. And I think customers also would be happy because they get to choose from a lot more options. I mean, customers love options, we know that.
And it's pretty fast. I mean, customers are able to see immediately what it looks like on them. You know, you got the virtual try on.
Right?
You know it's available in stock. If it's an offline perspective, it's no time wastage. And ultimately, you have an average of 20 minutes tops to convince them that you have something. And clearly, you have 4,000 SKUs. How does a customer go through that fast?
Yeah.
That's definitely a challenge. So product discovery, that's very interesting. And online, would you say that's a similar expectation in terms of that journey of product discovery, or is it more of an offline focused problem statement?
I think online comes with its own set of challenges. I think product discovery is less of a challenge online, because you're still quite convenient. It's just playing through the phone.
You can filter,
all of that. So I think product discovery is okay, but I think one of the bigger challenges that e-com faces is returns. I think a high return can very easily drain P&L for any brand. I think it's a pet peeve for a lot of D2Cs out there, right? I think one of the biggest challenges that I think ecom has to solve now is to bring down the returns. And that's one area where this can truly help. Even if I look at data, right, 70% of our returns happen because the customer has ordered the wrong size. So she didn't know that she would fit into a medium and she would order a large.
But
or
that
a
product
small.
specifically has a different sizing guideline. So,
100%. And
they're not aware.
exactly. And see, online you can't really wear and test, right? So that's a big gap when it comes to offline and online. We all know that. And I think this can really help solve this. I
And
think
bridge that problem statement
bridge that
of
problem statement.
meta size kya hai? How does this look on me? How does this fit on me?
Yeah, all of it, right? I mean, and the solution is very elegant. I mean, all you have to do is again take a picture of yourself. The tool is trained enough to know your body dimensions. It's also trained on the product that the brand is offering. So it's very easy to tell you that okay, for this particular product, this is the size that will fit you the best.
Yeah.
Right. And we have been doing this pilot for some time. We realized that all the customers that ordered after doing the AI sizing recommendation did not return.
Yeah.
So
true.
I mean, if I look at that at scale, that's such a huge win for any brand who's trying to cut down on returns.
Yeah.
That I mean, the upsides were great, and I mean, I'm only talking about no returns, but we also saw a 2.5x increase in add to cart. So the moment they are more confident about the product, how it looks on them, and they're confident about the size, there's a great increase in their propensity to add to cart as well. So I think across
It's a double benefit actually. I mean, if you're personalized, and it comes back to what you're saying, you personalize that customer journey and you keep the customer on the pedestal, you're going to reap the rewards both on a efficiency on returns perspective, but also on a sales perspective.
Yeah. I think we just have to look at it from a customer pain point lens. I mean, that is a pain point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are very few customers who do it just for the fun of it, but a genuine customer wants the right size. She doesn't want to return.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Nobody wants to
investing-
actually.
Yeah, I mean, she's investing her time, she's investing her money to find a product that she likes. And it's such a bummer when the product comes and doesn't fit, right? I mean,
Because you actually wanted that. You didn't want to do the return. You actually wanted the right size and you wanted to be happy because that's why you paid for it.
yeah.
So yeah.
And if they can get the right size, and the beautiful part is that they only have to do it once.
Yeah.
Because once that data is available, it's just very easy to give them recommendations for all the different product categories because the tool has product knowledge on the back end. So I think it's
And it knows your measurements, and then the rest is just a autoplay. And just
I think it solves a big problem when it comes to the e-com flow. So something that I think that solves a big issue for a lot of brands.
So we talked about sizing. We talked about product discovery through try on, through interactive context, whether that's an AI stylist or a quiz based approach. But I want to go back to the earlier part of the conversation where you started talking about the new customer is not just a customer that is expecting personalization and is expecting a personalized flow for their custom journey.
Yeah.
But they're also expecting almost a phygital, right? Not just a online or an offline. The buzzword omnichannel that has been used for 10 years, right? I mean, everyone says it, but very few have actually actualized it because it's extremely complex, right? You have CRMs and different systems. You have different, offline, online systems. Without getting too technological, but it's a nightmare, right? And if we're talking, especially at the scale at which large enterprises are scaling at and serving, this becomes a very difficult word to actually tackle. In what your vision for what this next decade of e-commerce or even omni-channel will look like, how does personalization data actually come into play in that context?
That's an interesting area, right, to sort of deep dive into, because like you said, omni-channel again has been something that the industry is wanting to move towards, but there's so many barriers that a true omni-channel experience, I think, is still not achieved. And like I said, because we have the technology now, I think this is the right time to again make a seamless omni-channel discovery, right? I think one of the terms that you used is retail intelligence, which I think is a better way to put it, because how I see retail, especially offline retail, evolve is brand stores becoming more of an experience centers, um, where customers are coming in with a certain expectations from their experience online, right? See, personalization in online has already started a little bit, right? They have started exploring uh, recommendations based on their taste and based on their history, which has been happening for some time.
Based on purchase history, all of that.
All of that. So they come in with an expectations of getting certain recommendations that they like. And I'll give my example, right? When I walk into a store today, uh, I mean, if I look at some of the large format retailers like an H&M, I mean, they're a great brand, legacy brand. But when I go in, there's so many options, and 95% of them is something that I'm not looking for.
Yeah.
Right. I was very specific requirement, right? When we go out clothes shopping, and we did this research. In fact, it's very interesting because we realized that 90% of our customers come in with some idea of what she's looking for.
There's an intent to buy something. They may not have it crystallized, but they have an idea of
They
what
have
that
an
is.
idea. In fact, 23% of them have it crystallized. They know the color and the category that they want, right? So a large part of customers who are walking into the store are actually looking for something specific, right? And when they come into a store and they see this huge selection of clothes which they're not looking for, becomes a little overwhelming because they're coming from a different expectation, especially the young shoppers, right? They're coming in from a very different expectation.
Because maybe their product journey starts online first, actually.
70% of product discovery is happening online these days.
Wow.
So a lot of customers are spending time.
So majority of customers are actually first on their website,
Yes.
and then coming offline.
So whether it's website, whether it's Instagram, whether it's influencers, the product discovery is happening online. They will know that, okay, this is what I want, right? Now she goes on to the store because she wants to try it out and do it. And you come to the store and you see so many options. It's so difficult to find the option that you're looking for, right? And that really throws them off. So a lot of abandonment even happens in offline stores because it's difficult to find what you're looking for.
Right.
So, and that is where I think some of these new solutions can really help, right? When we talk about retail intelligence, and this is what I think retail intelligence can do, you have a certain user history that you have built from their online experience. If there is a way to carry that and bring it alive through any digital medium in the stores, like a virtual try-on mirror,
Like an AI mirror.
AI mirror, that really helps a lot, right? So if I have, let's say, something as simple as I've added a few products to my wish list on the website. Now, when I come to the store, I plug in my
Phone number or some unique customer
and
identification.
my recommendations come in. The AI mirror can be synced with the inventory of the store. I can get recommendations of similar products that are available, the sizes that are available. I can quickly select it, just show it to the store staff, and they can just pack it and
You can even take that into a marketing perspective and say, now I know this customer wants this product.
Yeah.
We know this is available in store, in stock at some location where they last. We have some knowledge on where they are based.
Yeah.
If we can actually connect those dots and say, hey, I have a coupon for you, thank you for, I mean, that would be exciting.
Without even going to a coupon, whether we don't like to give discounts.
I mean, that's a different thing. I mean, obviously.
Even the information is valuable, right? So if you're looking for something and you're like, say a very practical example, right? We have more than close to 70 Gokula stores in Bangalore. So practically speaking, there's a Gokula store within 2 kilometers of wherever you are, right? In Bangalore, right? Now, let's say you're browsing some product, right? Let's say for some reason it's not available online, but I know that you like it, you want it. I can quickly send you a WhatsApp that it's available like 1 kilometer from where you are.
or get it to that location so they can pick it up or try it out there.
Yeah.
Make a a cool custom trial room experience based on their digital journey, and then customize the online too.
So bring them to the store, tell them more things that they will like based on the data. I think it helps a lot.
No, actually, on the note of, I think just to deviate on what we were and go back to e-commerce again on today, right? We talked about future, and actually a lot of the things we're talking about now and in terms of this futuristic tech is not futuristic. It's happening now.
Yes, now, yeah.
It's now we already have AI try-on and sizing online. Mirrors are coming up. I think that expectation is there. So I think even macroeconomic efficiencies are driving it. Customer expectations are driving it. Fintech is driving it. So I think this is the natural dream of retail, like you perfectly said, and maybe closer than what we thought. But to shift gears on things that sometimes we cannot control, and also just in general, curious about your thoughts on what marketplaces roles are. Right? I think big part of that online shopping journey is, yes, your website, but nobody can deny the behemoth of the industry, which is the Mintras, the Amazons, the Flipkarts. Just want to know your thoughts on that journey and that.
So I think they'll continue to play a very important role in two things, right? I think with the size that they bring in and the capital that they can deploy, I think they'll play a very important role in pushing these innovations along, right? And the amount of data that they capture and the analytical brain power that they have, I think they'll come up with some really nice solutions for AI. I think it's important for brands like us, and of course, AI enablers like yourself, to quickly understand what those solutions look like and prepare solutions for brands like us, right?
Because it will become the new hygiene.
It will become the new hygiene. I think there's a big opportunity there, just because of the kind of resourcing that these giants have, right? I think they'll push the envelope and they'll be first to sort of push some innovations out.
Yeah.
But I think there is more than enough merit in understanding that quickly and then bringing out solutions for D2C, because I think if you look at D2C as a channel, it's one of the fastest growing channels for most of the brands out there. I mean, for us, we are doubling every year on our e-com. So
wow,
we know that we want to keep investing into this so that we continue that rate of growth, and it will come from partners like yourself who enable us to do it, right? Because not a lot of brands would want to invest in in-house capabilities to build this, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we are a fashion retailer.
So, and you're not a technology company.
We're not a tech company. So we rely on providers
ecosystem.
On the ecosystem to give us those tools, right? And I think that's where there's a lot of I think focus that is needed going forward. Having said that, I think a lot of the stuff that folks like Amazon and Myntra and Flipkart have already started putting out, I think they also do a great job of identifying what will not work. So I think just keeping a close eye on what they're doing. I think can help.
True.
Yeah,
I think because they do have the budgets to play around and do R&D.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, in the world of AI, as a young founder myself, I don't think budgets anymore is required for innovation, right? I think it's more about subject matter expertise, but right problem statements, frictionless approaches, keeping the customer experience first. If you prioritize those things, but that's the hard part. There's 100 ways to solve these problems. Right. As an innovator, right? Like as a person who's brought in sizing, try on for brands like O-Colors, it's always been a tough for us as a startup. That's one speed advantage that a startup will have.
Always
is quick decision making, quick pivoting, quick, listen to this guy, add a feature, because I think that's the advantage of the young bull, if I may say so myself. I have a lot to prove still, but I think these types of conversations, these types of, industry leaders, listening, learning from the community, I think we will everyone needs this, right? We all need to work together. And I think it's, like you said, it's a collaborative world.
100%. And I won't be surprised if marketplaces actually join hands with upcoming.
That would be awesome. Any referrals would be great.
So I won't be surprised, because I think they are also looking for inspiration. I mean, it's a new world, to be honest, if that we are sort of entering now. So I won't be surprised if that happens. I mean, that's something that you should definitely explore.
Yeah. If that isn't a sign, I don't know what is.
If you can solve the returns problem for, let's say, somebody like a Myntra, I mean, they'll be super, super interested.
Yeah, I mean, they are already saying they have a solution that does that, but yeah, one step at a time. I
hope I get to see that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
But everyone's saying there is, and I was like, oh yeah, cool. But no, I think lovely conversation, Vatsal. I think closing notes, anything else you want to leave the audience with? Any words of wisdom of, anyone who's watching this?
I mean, I don't know if words of wisdom, but I think since we spoke a lot about how AI is sort of, I think it's unprecedented, the rate at which it's changing. I think technology hasn't changed at this rate ever in the past. So I think we have less time to adopt, right? I think my very strong recommendation, this is something that I keep talking to my team as well: learn fast. Just learn this fast, get to the basics of it, understand how it drives your own productivity, because I think it will become like the basic requirement very soon. Right?
Absolutely.
I don't think it's a good to have. It will become a must have very soon. Capability to navigate AI, to understand the right tools that help your domain, right? And to be able to use it well, right?
Yeah.
How to write the right prompts with the right context and the right outputs. Very important.
Yeah, it's only as good as how good you can make it.
Exactly. And I think pace is going to be critical. So, I mean, if anyone out there who's thinking about it, I think just jump into it. Spend time, take out extra time, learn about it, play with it. I think there's so much to learn. So don't wait.
Awesome.
Let's get quickly to it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for your time. This was a pleasure.
Same here.
All right. And yeah, thanks for joining, everyone.